Is it worth it to try and become a technical writer in 2022? In this video, we're going to explore pros and cons of choosing this particular occupation. This is actually one of my favorite occupations for a certain type of person. There's a lot of great reasons to become a technical writer in 2022, salary and wages being one of them. Technical writers write technical manuals such as equipment manuals, appendices, or operating and maintenance instructions. They can work in a variety of industries, including tech. Apple, Google, Facebook, and Amazon all employ a large number of technical writers to write manuals for their particular products and services. Technical writers also maintain records and files of work. They use charts, diagrams, and sketches to illustrate material, and they tend to work on small teams. They also need to be able to work with technical staff, such as engineers, to make products and instructions easier to use. One of the key advantages to choosing this particular occupation is the barrier to entry is pretty low. According to the Occupational Information Network, 35% of employed technical writers just have an associate's degree, 35% have a bachelor's degree, and 16% started some college but didn't finish. Associate's degrees are a lot cheaper than bachelor's degrees, potentially saving you tens of thousands of dollars. And before pursuing any kind of fancy degree, it's really important to choose the right career. We actually have the perfect program. It's a 7-step process. We go from 1,000 potential occupations to that one right career for you. We examine your interests, your personality, your values, where you want to live, and more. Check out the link below for more details and use the coupon code winter-sale for 30% off. Another key advantage that technical writers have over similar occupations is their compensation. Technical writers tend to be compensated pretty well. In 2020, the average base salary for a technical writer was $78,590. This was more than court reporters, editors, interpreters, translators, journalists, and public relations specialists. And this is the average national base salary before any overtime. And also keep in mind, big tech companies pay a lot more than this. Technical writers that work for Apple, Google, Facebook, and Amazon all have really great compensation packages that easily pushes them way above $78,000 per year. And not just that, technical writers have seen pretty solid wage growth over the years. In the year 2000, the average base salary for a technical writer was $50,060. By 2020, this rose to $78,590. So almost a $30,000 increase in wages over about 2 decades. So technical writers are seeing pretty good wage growth year to year. And this is probably a surprise to no one, but the highest paying places for people in this particular occupation tend to be in California, specifically Silicon Valley, where all the big tech companies are, and the Northeast Corridor. Next, we're going to get into the demographics of technical writers. What kind of people actually tend to become technical writers? First thing to understand is this is actually a female-dominated occupation. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, about 71% of technical writers are female. In addition to technical writers tending to be female, they also tend to have certain personality types. According to the Myers-Briggs company, there are certain Myers-Briggs personality types that tend to choose this particular occupation. The most likely Myers-Briggs type to become a technical writer is the champion, also known as the ENFP. This is followed by the director, the ESTJ, then the debater, ENTP, and finally the advocate, the INFJ. What you kind of notice with these types is technical writers tend to be extroverted, even though they're writing documentation all day. Technical writers tend to work on small teams, so it's actually really important to be able to work with other people well. Next, we can look at the job market. What is the demand like for technical writers, and has it been rising or falling over time? First off, the Bureau of Labor Statistics is pretty bullish on this particular occupation. They're projecting a 12% increase in the number of jobs over the next 10 years. And this is way above average. The average is like 3 or 4%. So they're expecting this particular occupation to grow by leaps and bounds. But also keep in mind, this is a small occupation. There actually isn't that many technical writers in the US workforce. In 2020, the government recorded 48,880 employed technical writers. This was more than the number of court reporters and more than the number of journalists, but much less than the number of editors, interpreters, translators, and definitely less than people that are working in public relations. The danger of choosing a smaller niche occupation is that sometimes you have to live in pretty specific places. Now, one of my favorite ways of determining the demand of an occupation is to look at job postings. I look at job postings on Indeed, Glassdoor, and LinkedIn.com. On Glassdoor, I found about 3,300 job postings across the United States. On Indeed.com, 5,437. And LinkedIn had a staggering 23,200 175 job postings related to being a technical writer. Now, if we compare the number of employed against the number of job postings, it looks amazing. There's a lot of job postings for people in this particular occupation. The demand is definitely there. I was actually also sorting through some job postings because I was trying to see if a lot of technical writers have the ability to work remote. And there is quite a few job postings out there for technical writers that want to work either part-time remote or 100% remote. It really just depends on the company. So as you can see, there's definitely some pros and cons of choosing this particular occupation. Technical writers, the barrier to entry isn't too high. They tend to earn good money. And if they want to earn great money, definitely go and try and work for a tech company. And there's plenty of demand. If you enjoyed this video, definitely also check out my journalist video and some of my other content. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.